Lifestyle and the environment have shaped human health for centuries, but their connection to cancer was not always understood. The first clues emerged more than 250 years ago, when physicians began noticing that certain everyday exposures seemed to increase the risk of developing cancer. These early observations eventually laid the foundation for modern cancer prevention, revealing that many cancers are not simply matters of chance or genetics, but are also influenced by the choices we make and the environments in which we live. One of the earliest documented links came in 1775, when the English physician John Hill observed that people who regularly used tobacco snuff were more likely to develop cancers of the nasal cavity. Although scientists at the time knew nothing about DNA or carcinogens, Hill recognized a clear association between chronic tobacco exposure and cancer. Today, we understand why. Tobacco snuff contains numerous cancer-causing chemicals that repeatedly contact the delicate lining of the nose. Over time, these carcinogens damage cellular DNA, increasing the likelihood that normal cells acquire mutations capable of driving cancer development. Only a few years later, another landmark discovery transformed our understanding of occupational cancer. Sir Percival Pott noticed that chimney sweeps frequently develop scrotal cancer at unusually young ages. Rather than attributing the disease to bad luck, he identified prolonged exposure to soot as the likely cause. Chimney sweeps often spent years covered in soot, which accumulated on their skin because of poor hygiene and harsh working conditions. We now know that soot contains polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, or PAHs, a group of potent chemical carcinogens. These compounds penetrate the skin, accumulate within tissues, damage DNA, and gradually promote the mutations that can lead to cancer after years of continuous exposure. An equally important lesson came soon afterward from Denmark. The Danish chimney sweepers guild encouraged workers to bathe every day, dramatically reducing the buildup of soot on their skin. This simple improvement in hygiene led to a remarkable decline in scrotal cancer across Europe. Long before molecular biology explained the mechanisms involved, this was one of the first real-world demonstrations that reducing exposure to carcinogens could prevent cancer, establishing a principle that remains central to public health today. By the middle of the 20th century, epidemiological studies provided overwhelming evidence that lifestyle choices profoundly influence cancer risk. Large population studies revealed that heavy cigarette smokers faced approximately a 20-fold higher risk of developing lung cancer compared with people who had never smoked. This striking difference helped establish cigarette smoking as one of the strongest preventable causes of cancer ever identified. The impact of tobacco extends far beyond lung cancer. Every year, tobacco use contributes to an enormous number of cancers affecting the mouth, throat, esophagus, pancreas, bladder, kidneys, cervix, and many other organs. Alcohol further amplifies cancer risk, particularly when combined with tobacco. Together, smoking and excessive alcohol consumption are responsible for hundreds of thousands of cancer-related deaths each year, illustrating how multiple harmful exposures can work together to increase disease risk. Lifestyle influences extend well beyond smoking and drinking. Excess body weight and physical inactivity create a biological environment characterized by chronic inflammation, altered hormone levels, insulin resistance, and changes in cellular signaling. These processes increase the risk of several cancers, including breast, colorectal, endometrial, kidney, pancreatic, and liver cancers. The evidence consistently shows that maintaining a healthy body weight and staying physically active reduce the likelihood of developing many of these diseases. Diet also plays a major role. Diets low in fruits, vegetables, and dietary fiber deprive the body of antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and protective phytochemicals that help maintain normal cellular function and limit oxidative DNA damage. At the same time, diets rich in processed meats, high levels of salt, nitrates, saturated fats, and highly processed foods have been associated with increased risks of stomach, esophageal, colorectal, pancreatic, breast, and prostate cancers. These foods can promote inflammation, alter the gut microbiome, increase exposure to carcinogenic compounds, and create conditions that favor cancer development over many years. Fortunately, these risks can often be reduced through relatively simple lifestyle changes. Eating a balanced diet rich in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and fiber provides nutrients that support healthy cells and help protect DNA from damage. Regular physical activity improves metabolism, reduces inflammation, and helps maintain a healthy weight. Avoiding tobacco in all forms eliminates exposure to thousands of toxic chemicals, including dozens of proven human carcinogens. Limiting alcohol intake further lowers the risk of cancers affecting the liver, breast, mouth, throat, and digestive tract. The differences between alcohol-related and tobacco-related cancers also highlight how specific exposures affect different organs. Excessive alcohol consumption contributes substantially to cancers of the liver, esophagus, oral cavity, and breast, with breast cancer being particularly significant among women because alcohol influences estrogen metabolism and hormonal signaling. Tobacco, meanwhile, remains the dominant cause of lung cancer in both men and women, and also markedly increases the risk of cancers of the oral cavity, esophagus, stomach, and several other organs. While some cancers show slight differences between males and females due to variations in exposure patterns in biology, the harmful effects of both tobacco and alcohol are evident across both sexes. The most important lesson from decades of research is remarkably encouraging. Cancer prevention begins long before a diagnosis is ever made. Many of the environmental exposures and lifestyle factors that increase cancer risk are modifiable. By avoiding tobacco, limiting alcohol, maintaining a healthy weight, exercising regularly, and adopting a diet rich in plant-based foods and fiber, individuals can substantially reduce their lifetime risk of developing cancer. These principles, first hinted at by physicians over 2 centuries ago, and now supported by modern molecular biology and epidemiology, continue to form the foundation of cancer prevention worldwide. Before we move forward, it's important to remember that this discussion serves as an introduction to cancer and the role of lifestyle and environmental factors in cancer development. We've explored the historical discoveries and the major risk factors that first revealed how cancer can be influenced by our environment and daily choices. In the upcoming chapters of this series, we'll dive much deeper into the fascinating science of cancer. Together, we'll explore the molecular mechanisms, cellular biology, pathology, genetics, epigenetics, the tumor microenvironment, cancer metabolism, immune evasion, metastasis, and many other complex processes that drive cancer from its earliest beginnings to advanced disease. So, think of this introduction as the foundation upon which we'll build a comprehensive journey into modern cancer biology, connecting historical observations with the remarkable molecular discoveries that continue to transform cancer research, diagnosis, and treatment today.